Joe Biden in Flint, Michigan in the last hour. He was joined by Senator Cory Booker, one of two big endorsements the former vice president picked up just today. Booker and fellow former 2020 candidate Senator Kamala Harris both came out in support of Joe Biden today, and they'll both join him tonight at an event in Detroit. The table's back, Donna.
Wow. I mean, what I say is the difference between Joe Biden today and just a month ago is extraordinary.
Has it even been a month? Like 2 weeks, right?
Like 8 days in South Carolina.
Really, but if you look in early February, the polls were saying that Joe Biden was a goner. He was no longer had front runner status, and now here we are today. And I think that when you look at Joe Biden, he does feel like he's getting stronger and more confident as a candidate. I think it is helpful to him to have all of these, quote unquote, establishment figures endorsing him. I mean, they are members of the Democratic Party and they are supporting him for president of the United States. And on the other hand, I think for Bernie, I think he still has to demonstrate that he can win the base of the Democratic Party, win black voters, and that just hasn't happened yet. And so we still have a long way to go in this primary season. Clearly, Senator Sanders and Joe Biden are going to go all the way until the end. But at the end of the day, it's voters that get to make this decision, not some, sort of boogeyman hanging out in the trenches. And that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, Nick, I think the reason I pressed Ari in this idea of an establishment is neither party has an establishment. And to the degree that they're establishment figures, Bernie Sanders would very much like the establishment endorsement of one Senator Elizabeth Warren. So this idea that there's an establishment, arm on the scale for one, it just seems, it may be the result of those wins, but it's not the cause of those wins.
For all practical purposes, the establishment today is a fiction in presidential primaries. Is it the DNC, which changed its rules as Sanders asked it to?
Right.
Is it Barack Obama, who won't endorse in this race? It's a bunch of donors, probably, which he doesn't need and can raise more money without them, in Sanders' case. It wasn't the establishment that beat Bernie Sanders on Super Tuesday. It was black church ladies. It was voters coming out and supporting Biden. And they're all making the same calculation. The other candidates, the church ladies, the voters, everyone is deciding who can win. And they could be right and they could be wrong. But I think that is the uppermost concern. Who can beat Trump?
Maybe.
I do think that Ari made it clear that the senator from Vermont intends to drag this out as long as possible. He can't wait for that debate next Sunday. I was sort of hoping it wasn't going to happen. Don't want to watch another one. But that he wants to scrape up every last delegate he can in a proportional fight because he wants to be at the table. He's a revolutionary. It's not about the Democratic Party, of which he's not a member. It's about Bernie. So expect this to be long and bloody. But I think the significance of former Rands who criticized Joe Biden pretty strongly coming in and saying that they'll endorse him just tells more voters, look, we wanted to win, but we know he's the most electable, and we want to win in November. And it really helps, not just because they're superdelegates also, but that it tells the voters this: Joe Biden's the good housekeeping seal of approval. He is the best bet. And I think that the primary's been very long. And I think voters are feeling, I think that, look, Bernie could do well in Michigan. He really could.
And Washington State.
But I think the party's decided, and even proportionately at the end, Biden will have more delegates and he'll be the nominee. Bernie can just make it as long and painful as he wants to, but he's not going to make it.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.